Holly radio blogs.
Hot 101.5.
These are the radio blogs of Miguel Fuller and Holly O'Connor.
Because it's so much easier to just say them out loud than it is to type them.
Dear blog, when I was in Buffalo, New York, visiting my fiance, who is there this month for work, we went out to dinner with some of his friends, and then we went to a local gay bar to have a little cocktail. And
As you do.
And so it was like early on in the night, and we were like, we just really want to have one or two before it gets crowded. And so as we're sitting there, and, you know, I'm always like, so tell me about when you were like in your early 20s and you were here, and he was telling me stories and we're laughing. And then someone comes down and sits next to us at the bar, and my fiance doesn't really acknowledge the person. And the person's like, oh, hey, Abe. And Abe goes, oh, hey, and then turns back and starts talking to me again. And I was like,
okay.
Instantly, my hackles went up, and I was like, that was a really weird interaction. Why wouldn't Abe, you know, because he'd only been in Buffalo for a few days.
Right.
And I'm assuming I've never heard of this person before. So why wouldn't you be like?
He didn't introduce him to you?
No, he didn't introduce him. He didn't say like, how you been? What's going on?
Now I'm curious.
So of course I was like, who this?
What?
Who this? So I was like, all right, well, how can I tactfully ask who this? Because the person is sitting right next to us at the bar. So we're chatting and talking, and then the guy sort of like butts into the conversation and starts like joking about stuff. And then after about 10 minutes, I was like, oh, so how do you two know each other?
Oh.
And I instantly saw Abe's face get red.
No. Oh, no. Oh, no.
And the guy obviously had a few drinks. And so there was like no shame. And he was like, well, I used to know your fiance back in the day.
No.
How so?
Oh,
And of course,
why?
because I had some drinks. So I'm like, this is fun. Because Abe is looking like I would rather be anywhere but right here in this moment.
I feel for Abe so much right now, like in my heart.
So I was like, so how do you two know each other? And he's like, well, back in the day, you know, we used to hang out.
Oh.
I know your fiance.
This man came up into this bar, literally inserted himself into a conversation with y'all, only to tell you that he's hooked up with your man.
Yes.
I would be so mad.
What in the Sam Hill?
But here is the point of the story. If this would have happened 4 years ago when we first got together, I would have burned that bar down.
Yeah, no,
I would have taken that man, cut him up into tiny pieces, and scattered him into Lake Erie.
Okay.
But
still not the worst thing in Lake Erie, by the way. I'm from Ohio. I'm from Cleveland. I can say that. So just
True that.
Y'all can't say that. I can say that. Okay, go ahead.
But you know what? Abe put a ring on it. He ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
I got nothing to worry about. So I was just like,
Come on, gross.
I was just proud of myself that I was able to have fun with it. I wasn't worried. I was just like, it's fun to hear stories about Abe from when he was in his 20s. I love it.
And as long as the guy wasn't being inappropriate.
No, not
that
at all.
would have been a different story. Like, as long as he wasn't being like, you know, trying to be flirty or whatever.
Right.
Then I would have been like,
crazy details. No.
Right.
It was fine. It was just, to me, it was a moment where I was like, come on, growth.
Okay. Well, I'm glad for you. I'm also glad for Lake Erie. Dear blog, I need advice because I just don't know what to do right now. So my mom is very, very, very religious. She's Catholic. I was raised Catholic. And so has watched many times now this series called The Chosen. And maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you've seen it. It's supposed to be great. I can't tell you how many times she lists like the stats to me. She's like, this is the largest crowdfunded program in the world.
Oh.
And the number changes all the time because I think she forgets. It's like either like 11 million people are watching it at the same time or 1 million. I don't know. There's some of the one. Anyway, she loves this show. And it's difficult for her to watch this because it's like, season 1's on YouTube, but season 2 is out, but you can only watch it on the app. And her TV will not connect with this app because she's last night I had to go to try to figure this out. And there is some man on this TV show that's like, It's so simple. Look, you pull up the app and then you pull up your thing. You can't just put it on your TV. You have to have a Roku or a Chromecast or a da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's like talking real fast. And he's like, it's so easy though. It's free. And it is free. But I'm like, sir, you are pulling the wool over my mother's eyes because it is not easy for her. Like, A, it's not easy for her in general to like do this type of technology.
Right.
And B, she's talking to me like I'm stupid, like I don't know what I'm doing. She's like, well, did you just push the Netflix button? And I'm like, this is
Just do it.
no, it's not. Like, and there is like, it should be able to stream it because she's got a Roku TV, but the app is not recognizing the TV. They're not communicating with each other. It's like a whole mess. And then she's looking at me like I'm the liar. Like this man just said it was so easy. And I'm like, so there's a lot of consternation going on around this TV show. And as a side note that's related, I've sort of been on my own spiritual journey over the past several years. And it's like dovetailed and gone at the same time as my spiritual awakening and just looking at things a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
And therapy to figure out why she's such a massive trigger for me. So I've done a lot of self-reflection, a lot of learning, a lot of growth in the past few years. And so I'm trying to stand up more for myself and listen to my inner voice.
Right.
Having said all that, she's like, I just really want you to watch this show with me. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I didn't say anything. And now I get it. Like, if you love this show, you're like, of course, watch the show. It's a great show. I'm sure it is a beautifully done
It's probably great.
series. I'm sure it is. My mother loves it. She's watched it. I ordered the DVDs. For her. They're coming in the mail. She's like, when the DVDs come in the mail, you need to watch this with me. And I'm like, maybe. The thing is, y'all, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Right.
And it's not because I don't like, you know, there's a lot that goes on and it would be fine, I'm sure, to watch it. But there's several reasons. Like, number one, I know the story already very well.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, I guess, a different telling of it. And also my mom's like, she does this thing where she's like, would you please just watch this? And like, she really wants me to watch it. And I know how easy it would be for me to just suck it up and be like, what is this going to take out of my life? Not that many hours. And I think she only really wants me to watch like the first few episodes. I think thinking that I'll get hooked, you know?
Right.
But she's like, I don't ask for much. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
But that's time. I think you just got to like put your foot down and be like,
I don't know.
I love you, but when
tough.
would I have time to do this? When you don't even have time to watch anything that you actually want to watch.
I know, but there's so many things that I do want to watch. And I'm just like, I don't know when I'm going to get to that. But then like, I got to carve out time to watch this show.
Yeah, I'd be like, I love you. I ordered the DVDs for you. I will set it up. I'll pop you some popcorn even.
Oh,
but
nice.
There's just no way that I can just sit down and spend hours watching this show that I have no interest in.
It feels like I'm being poor to myself if I say yes just for her. You know what I mean? It's one of those,
Correct.
It's a struggle.
You can't. All right, it is 6:50. Holly, what's hot and trending in Tampa Bay?
Okay. I found a list of movies that had to scrap their original endings. You are not gonna believe how The Lion King almost ended.
Oh, not the lion, not Simba.
Simba!
The Simba. Oh, girl.
You will not. You gotta listen. I'm gonna do it at 7.
And right before that, though, what are we gonna be doing this week? A dance, a chant, a sexy pose? Scott presents our TikTok Tuesday challenge, sponsored by Pin Chasers, next on Hot 101.5.
I do the same thing I told you that I never would. Told you I changed.